Hello, my name is Jacob Ryan, and in this video I will be demoing my interactive audio score in Fmod Studio. For this project, I decided to replace the music for the video game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. The gameplay segment I chose consists of 3 states, each one requiring unique musical content. To bridge between these 3 states, I wrote and implemented transitional cues. Each section cue is contained within its own event. Section 1 is implemented as a branching score. By having the full cue separated into smaller chunks, it is easy to maintain musicality while transitioning to the next gameplay state. The transition to Section 2 is controlled by the states parameter. Once we cross one of these transition 2 markers within the appropriate parameter range, we will jump to the transition cue. The release on the ADSR ensures that the tail of the audio file will continue to play during the jump. Section 1 also contains a parameter called hanging, which controls the volume automation of the conga loop. This parameter represents the player distance to the hanging bodies in the level. Section 2 is a more linear state, thus it has a simpler integration, only requiring a loop region to connect the main cue to the transition cue. This loop region is also controlled by the states parameter. The audio file will continue to loop until the range is exceeded. Note that this cue is in a different tempo and meter than the last cue. Section 3 begins with a linear cutscene, which requires no interactivity. As we move through the gameplay section, 2 music layers are dynamically mixed together. In this section, logic is controlled by the parameter distance, which represents the player's progress through the level. This parameter controls both the loop region logic as well as the second layer's volume automation. This results in an immediate musical reaction to gameplay events, while maintaining the musicality of transitioning in time and on beat. I've also implemented 3 types of musical stingers. The first type, a smart stinger, is triggered during Section 1. It has a loop and transition region in time with the cue, which allows for the stinger to always be triggered in time. The logic is also controlled with the same hanging parameter as before, so that the tension from the rising conga line is supplemented with the stinger. The other 2 stingers are handled more traditionally. Stinger number 2 can be triggered at any time. For this project, it is triggered as the main character knocks on a door. Stinger number 3 is controlled on the parameter page as opposed to the timeline. This stinger represents a subtle change from cutscene to gameplay, and the parameter controls both the pitch and low-pass filter automation. Finally, all events are combined into a single, more manageable event. In this event, I have access to every parameter and cue. Now, let's hear the whole project together with the gameplay footage. While the game would normally control the parameters, I will do it for the purposes of this video. As the characters approach the hanging bodies, I will turn up the hanging parameter, controlling the conga volume and smart piano stinger. As the characters approach the next scene, I will turn up the states parameter, triggering the transition cue. I will trigger another stinger as they interact with the door. As the characters approach the next scene, I will again turn up the states parameter, triggering the transition cue. As the characters continue through the scene, I will turn up the distance parameter, controlling the layer volume and triggering the end loop. And that's the project. Thank you for watching.